The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
We are excited to be here today. It's a wonderful day here on Mossy Creek. I want to thank you all for being here, the team for being here, and for you folks for being here. We're just really excited. It's never good to get a phone call in the late summer regarding a coach in a transition, but we are very fortunate to have good leaders in our department, and I want to recognize Suzanne Strudwick, our SWA and Associate Athletics Director, former women's golf coach, and Randy Wiley, our head men's golf coach, for their leadership and their jumping right in. And we were able to expedite the process. They're helped us navigate this process pretty quickly, and so we're excited about it. As always, we're always looking for a candidate with strong Christian character, someone who's passion, integrity, competency, someone who's a high achiever, someone who is a teacher, knows how to win, effective communicator, and someone who's recruited well. But moreover, we're looking for someone who's a great fit for Carson-Newman University in our athletics department, and I feel like we have found all of those in our new head coach, in Bo Harris. Bo is a highly accomplished instructor, owning his own award-winning golf academy based out of Dead Horse Lake Golf Course here in Knoxville. He's trained hundreds of local and national high school and college players across 7 states and multiple countries. And he can correct me if I misspeak here, but his teaching started with First Tee at Greater Knoxville at Williams Creek Golf Course, where he eventually rose to the Director of Instruction in 2015. He received the prestigious U.S. Golf Teachers Federation National Teacher of the Year Award in 2019, and he's established an elite winter program with the Tennessee Sports Medicine Clinic as well. Coach Harris holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Sociology from UTK, an Associate of Science in Golf Management from Kaiser University in Port St. Lucie, Florida, home of the Red Summer Camp. He also holds 8 teaching certificates, including the distinction of being one of 3 master-level putting coaches in Tennessee. He comes to us most recently from Roane State Community College, where for the last 3 years he's served as the Raiders' head women's golf coach. Under Coach Harris, Roane State program has experienced phenomenal growth and now sits in the national top 25 rankings and boasted a string of impressive program firsts, including his first place regular season win, an overall tournament championship, a Region 10 championship, and a top 4 finish in the NJCAA Southeast District Championship. We're all very proud to welcome Bo to our family, so please join me as we congratulate Bo Harris as our new head women's golf coach.
Start us off with a statement about joining the convocation.
This has been outstanding so far. First of all, thank you, Director Pope, Suzanne, Randy, there you are, and the girls. This has been an incredible family environment, family support. I love everything about what Carson-Newman stands for. When I started coaching 10 years ago, I always wanted to be able to take over and run an NCAA program, and with my wife and my son George, who's right over here, we didn't really want to take the chance of having to move and start over, and so having Carson-Newman within a great distance from our house, being an NCAA program, well established, great education system, this was a no-brainer for me, and I just really appreciate the opportunity.
Questions for Bo?
So Coach, first of all, last couple of weeks probably a whirlwind for you. What did the last couple of weeks look like, and what did the last couple of days look like for you as well?
It has been a whirlwind. Just trying to start the transition between Roane State and here. I've been lucky enough to where I'm finishing out at Roane State this week, and we'll get started here full, ready to go on Monday. Had the great opportunity to speak to my new team. Really excited to get a chance to work with them. And And, next week, we're just going to be hitting the ground running and get ready. We have 3 short weeks before we leave for our first tournament. So it's going to be a grind, but it's going to be a fun year.
So you talked about your time at Rowan State and what that meant to you. You sent a ton of athletes to NCAA institutions. What dynamic changes coming to an NCAA school and getting the chance to coach these girls at the NCAA level?
I think the dynamic is going to stay pretty much the same. When I get my kids, both when I help coach the men's and the women's teams at Rowan State, the dynamic really there was to get them to progress on and off the golf course, learn great life lessons, and leave the program themselves better than when they started. There, it was to get them to the next level, but here it's to help get them ready for the real world. We've got grad students, we'll have freshmen, we have a really solid younger roster coming in, and so I think that's going to be a great benefit to start getting kids ready to go. And there's so many life lessons as golfers that we know you're going to experience on the golf course and in life as well. So the dynamic will be the same, and getting the kids prepared for after their experience here in college, but also developing their games and trying to bring home a title.
So you talked about the development of your players. You have a good mixture of young talent and some developed talent and some older talent here at Carson-Newman. What does it mean to have multi levels of development here so far?
I think it's going to be great. I think one thing my teams have in common is kind of like Rick Barnes says, it's not about me. So when we learn to work together, I think it's going to give the grad students and the seniors and the upperclassmen that don't have much time here, it's going to give them an opportunity to help grow and give great feedback and advice to the younger players, and for the younger players in the same to be able to really start to figure out where they are, grow them on the golf course, and then grow them in the classroom, and just start to make a name for themselves.
So you have a lot of experience coaching and developing talent and getting into the technique aspects of the game. But obviously you haven't been able to see these girls play yet, but from the mental aspect of the golf game, it's a mentally challenging game. What are some overarching themes of your coaching that deal with that mental component of the game? Yeah,
so that is going to be an interesting insight. I've got a week or two to figure out exactly where I am with that. But, between Suzanne over the last few years and Randy and the former coach here, they did an incredible job with recruiting and have really left me with a very achievable team. So I think, yes, there will need to be a lot of mental development, learning to be, as I like to say to my players, learning to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Because in the golf course and in life, you're going to have to be comfortable with uncomfortable situations. And I think we've got a great set and a lot of great pieces to make that puzzle fit.
So you spent a lot of time here in the state of Tennessee, going to school, coaching, and coaching at Rowan State. What have you learned overall about the talent and the growing level of talent here in Tennessee?
Tennessee is an incredibly underrated golfing community. I was fortunate enough, I lived in Florida for a few years when I attended Kaiser, and then I turned pro down in Florida, down in Palm Beach, Florida, and that's obviously a worldly known junior golf development scene, but Tennessee has really, in my eyes, risen to the top of the rankings, and it's teams like this and other teams in the area that I think are, if it hasn't been shown yet, it's about to.
So you've seen a little bit of the schedule. We're going to get into it here in the next week or so, but just your first impression of the schedule this season and what you're looking forward to about it.
I think it's challenging, but I think that's a good thing. I think later on there's going to be a little bit of a dip in being a little bit more comfortable, but what better way to get better than to play against the best? And so we're going to open up against our seems to be our rivals. And so get ready to put up a fight, and we're going to learn about ourselves. And then from there, we're going to learn even more, and we're going to start to develop. And I think anybody who plays against Carson-Newman this season is going to have to be ready for it.
Anything else for both?
Coach, to come in this late with the school starting is, I'm sure, a big challenge for you. It's a big challenge for your team as well. How do you plan on attacking that to make it work for you instead of
I got to have a little bit of a conversation with my kids already, and we're having our first full team meeting next week. And right now, early on, it's going to have to be more about trust. I think if they know where I'm coming from, I think it'll be a little bit of a two-way street all the way through. But if I can figure, watching them play in practice next week or in 2 weeks, what their tendencies are, how they're handling pressure, how they react to certain types of coaching. I think when I'm able to figure that out, and especially from a teaching standpoint, being able to transition, in golf lessons, we'll have 5 lessons and 5 different types of players where we have to learn to teach different ways. So there might be a little bit of a growing pains factor there, but again, I think the talent on this roster this season is phenomenal, and early on, I anticipate that's going to show up.
whenever new coaches come in, and I'm sure when you talk to Matt, Suzanne, Randy about this, the ministry, that aspect of how coaches are expected to be a part of in this school and community, what part of that appealed to you to want to take this position?
I think part of it was possibly, something that I've always coached by in college has been my 4 pillars, which is God, family, school, and golf. That's what I want my kids to live by. And, also, when this situation came up, I was in a similar situation with my now former school that Carson-Newman had just been put in. And so it was a very tough call, trying to figure out with my family what was best. And one thing we came up with is something that I had talked about a lot with my wife was, God's putting us here for a reason. I think God has put these girls on this team for a reason. And, whether that answer has been seen or told yet, I'm just going to trust it.